Hi guys, I'm Pauline.
I'm Sarah.
And today's article is Londoners accused of being rude. Oops. Now, for me, it might not be a surprise because that's something that I've heard. There's a common perception, maybe a myth.
As a British person, I'm personally offended.
I'm entitled to my opinion. So it's something that we've heard about different people from different countries. They create this stereotype that comes with it. If you might think of how the Japanese are perceived, where they are quite polite. Americans were perceived as very entitled, and for me it was just common knowledge, like Londoners seem to give off this rude demeanor because we're not used to that. Whatever you guys got going on. So with that in mind, would you say that people in your city are polite?
So I'm not actually a Londoner, but just I feel a sense of British pride. Yeah. I'm from the West Midlands, which is like the central area of England. I think that people in my city and my neighborhood are overly friendly. So my experience growing up was that if I was sitting on a bus, I never felt uncomfortable when a person would sit next to me, especially if they were elderly. And usually, I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have headphones on. Now I do. But older people would always start a conversation with me on the bus. And so I never felt it was weird to have that conversation. And people tend to smile when you pass them. And I think it's British culture to acknowledge people just with like a hello or like a smile. That was my experience at least. Right. How about you in the Texas?
Oh, we get that what's the Southern charm, hospitality.
Hi, darling.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all I've known, but it seems like a very genuine care for others because we do call them that's my neighbor. Not an exact you live right next to me, but we're all neighbors.
Community.
Yeah, building that community means that you should be nice to everyone because you don't know who you might encounter. You don't know when you might need help. But now thinking about this, London is one of the major cities in the UK, and I have the same perception of New Yorkers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say
in the US. So maybe that's what it could be equated to. We'll find out after you read this article. Have you ever been to London?
I have many times. So flying home from Korea, London is my
where you did
arrival
layover?
point. Yes. So usually I spend a day in London by myself before going back to see my family because London's a fun place to shop, and London is unlike any other place in the UK for me, and so I feel like I'm on vacation every time I go to London. Like it's a special trip for me, and especially when I was growing up too, going to London was a really big event. Like, ooh, we go to London, I kind of think. Oh, I love it personally. It's something that I miss living here, even though I'm not from London at all. I really miss having a day trip to London. Have you ever been?
No, my mother went before and she really loved it. She never said anything about people being rude.
Good.
But she said people were very focused on getting to where they're going. So I guess maybe that might be perceived as rude to some people. They're not stopping by and making some small talk. But she only had nice things to say about London, so I don't know what this person in the article is on about, so we'll find out. If you do not have time to read the article, please read the summary, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Londoners accused of being rude. In some parts of the world, it's good manners to make friendly conversation with strangers. In other places, this is much less common. One Midwestern family visiting London was shocked at the perceived unfriendliness and complained about it on social media. Many people who saw the post got angry or made fun of the family. One reporter explained that Londoners are not really unfriendly. It's more accurate to say that they are big city polite and they want to respect people's personal space and privacy.